Come on in to Margaret McSweeney's Kitchen for Kitchen Chat, where every week you'll meet chefs, cookbook authors, foodies, gourmets, and just plain people who love to eat. And along with laughter, chat, recipes, and stories about food, you'll sometimes also hear words of inspiration, love, and hope. As Margaret always says, Kitchen Chat is food for the senses and food for the soul. So grab a cup of coffee, put your feet up on a comfy chair, and get ready to spend a little time with Margaret and her friends.
Hello, dear foodie friends, and welcome to Kitchen Chat. I'm your host, Margaret McSweeney, and I'm so glad you're joining us today here in the beautiful Viking and La Cornue showroom in the Merchandise Mart. And I'm here with my favorite friend and co-host and brand ambassador for Viking, Chef Jamie Loretta.
I am here. This is me in the flesh, Margaret.
Oh, and I'm so excited that Chef Beni, the winner of MasterChef Junior, is here on Kitchen Chat.
Hello,
welcome.
Margaret. Hello, Jamie. It's so
Hi.
good to see you guys.
Oh, well, this is just so special to
really is.
have
Thank you so
here.
much. I'm honored to be here.
Oh,
And congratulations. I mean, that's
thank
a major
you so much.
accomplishment.
Thank you so much.
She's a winner, baby. She's a winner.
It was very fun.
Yes, and I can't wait to hear what was the process of being elected to be, or selected to be on the show, and what were some highlights from that?
So, you had to do a bunch of different challenges to get in, and then once you were actually on the show, again, another set of challenges, and they selected 2 people to go home each time, which was very sad watching my friends leave, but in the end, I think it was such a fun experience, and it was awesome.
When did you actually fall in love with the process of cooking?
I've actually fallen in love with cooking very recently, but pretty much my whole life I've cooked with my family. My family has always cooked together and cooked our own food. And so I kind of was surrounded by, cooking my whole life, but just very recently I've started to get very serious about it.
Wow.
Wow. And how old are you?
I'm about 12 years old.
So young and already so advanced in the culinary field.
I remember when I was your age. I come from a big Italian family, so we had 11 brothers and sisters.
Whoa.
So I had my grandmothers and my aunts and everyone over my house, so there was a lot of cooking going on. But at 12 years old, I don't even remember, I think maybe I was like a carrot peeler at that time.
Well, that's where you start, right?
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool. That's a big family.
Yep.
So what made you want to go on MasterChef Junior?
Well, I actually watched the season 4 and watched Addison Smith, another contestant from Chicago, win, and I was really inspired. So I'm like, okay, probably not going to get far, but let's do this. I just, got a chance and I wanted to go and I just tried out and
so when you get there, walk me through the process. You get there and there's the lights and the cameras and Gordan Ramsey and everything.
It's very nerve-wracking.
It's intimidating?
It's nerve-wracking, yeah. But once you kind of get in the groove, like a record player, you're good. You get used to the cameras, you get used to everyone watching you, you get used to the chance of you going home, but it's all fun.
Oh, and you become friends with everyone there.
Yes. We still try to keep in touch. Even we're all busy, but we still try to talk to each other.
And what was your favorite or most memorable dish that you made on the show?
I think it was during the chocolate challenge. All this, pure chocolate on us. Not the sweet kind, but the bitter kind. And it just, I made cocoa rubbed steak with a parsnip puree and parsnip chips and a chocolate port sauce. And I remember that was a really memorable dish. A lot of, the judges really liked it.
So you've had a lot of chefs in your chef life thus far, inspiring you. Mm-hmm. I saw you cooking with Mindy Siegel from Hot Chocolate.
She's so cool.
Isn't she great?
She's awesome.
So what other chefs do you have mentors? Do you have other people that have helped you along the way?
Oh yes, my dad's very close friend, Chef James DeMarte. He owns a restaurant, Pizzolino Italian Cafe.
Oh yeah, that's a great restaurant.
Avondale. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he's been a really big mentor in my life. He's taught me a lot of awesome skills. And then we have a lot of, restaurants in our neighborhood, and we become close friends with the chefs, and it's really all cool.
Yeah, that's really the most important thing, as far as any advice I can give you, you need it. But that's really where you're going to learn the most from, is cooking is energy.
Yeah.
And when you start to realize that, and you start to connect with other people that share the same vibration, all of a sudden your force field becomes bigger.
Yeah.
And your wealth of knowledge becomes more substantial.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And basically you'll learn a lot from being around other chefs.
Just
so you're
watching
doing a good job.
and learning.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I love it.
Now, I read somewhere that you had some great proceeds come in from winning, and you wanted to buy a food truck.
Yes.
Did that happen? And you can't even drive.
Yes. When you're 9 years old, you have a lot of big
Yes.
You have a lot of big dreams, and not all of them come true, but
By the way, when you're 50 years old, you still have those dreams.
I'm thinking about, I probably want to be a chef when I grow up. I do want to be a chef when I grow up. And I'm thinking about a food truck, like just a food truck that serves global food, a bunch of different cuisines. Or maybe I'm also thinking about maybe if I opened up a diner. Like a diner, because I enjoy diners.
With you.
I love to go to old-fashioned diners
Me
and just
too.
Get eggs Benedict and shove my face, and it's like really awesome. But I have a lot of plans.
There's a lot of opportunity for an old school diner where I live, and Bucktown would be amazing.
Oh yeah, that's where my aunt is.
Yeah, there would be a great diner. There's a great spot. We'll talk about it.
And the pies too with the diners.
Now, do you love to bake as well?
I'm not very good at it. Like my cupcakes, oh man, they didn't turn out so well. But I do love to bake.
Listen, not
It's
everything
really
comes
fun.
out right. But
No.
you know what? Throughout your cooking life, you'll learn from your mistakes.
Oh yeah, that's a big, that's a rule that I follow by.
Did you ever have any mistakes on the show?
Well, let's
Were you
see.
ever in the what do they call that?
Oh yeah, the pressure test.
The pressure test.
Yes, so I believe it was a hotel challenge. We were put in this hotel kitchen and we had to do room service, and we lost. And it was just so stressful, and we had to go into a pressure test because my team lost. And so we made risotto, which was my first time ever making risotto, and I did a pretty decent job. I ended up not getting cut, which was very nice, but it was sad to see some of my friends go. But I learned that you always have to try new things,
Yes.
and you have to do a lot of teamwork. Like a teamwork we really struggled with. So I learned that teamwork that makes the dream work, right?
I mean, you have no future ahead of you.
I'm in awe.
joking. No, you're really, and listen, if you ever need some really great risotto tips.
Yes,
you come
I
to this
would
guy.
love to learn risotto.
I learned a great method of risotto when I was in Italy training. And that's another thing that you should do and focus on in your chef life is traveling.
Oh yeah, travel. My family and I have been to Peru, which was awesome. We were, in
Fancy.
Machu Picchu. Yeah, Peru was awesome.
Where else have you been, Beni?
Bermuda, which was very awesome too. Yeah, it was a small place, but it was beautiful. And the pink sand, it may not be hot pink, but it's still really cool. So yeah, I've traveled, and we've, even the restaurants in our neighborhood, it's very diverse. So we have so much food in our lives.
I am so inspired. I mean, she could be
I love
a
her.
motivational speaker, teamwork.
Yes.
Things that, as adults,
you're going to be.
all
You know
need
what's
to be
going to be
learning.
great, Margaret?
Yes.
I'm going to tell you what's going to be fantastic.
What?
You and I are going to be in Hawaii.
Yes.
Really, really old one day on the deck, watching you just slay it in your food life. In your food life. No, you have such a bright future ahead of you. And I know, I'm getting that feeling. I know this is one of those moments that we're going to look back on. That's what's so great about being on television, too, is that you actually have these moments to, reference. Half of mine, by the way, Beni, were nightmares. When I first started on food TV, it was so scary because...
It's hard.
Well, yeah, it's hard, number one, but you didn't have... at least got to watch the show.
Oh, yeah.
And you had a frame of reference for what you were getting into. Back in the day, when I started on food TV, there wasn't a lot of reference, but you've got a lot of, a lot of things that you can see now. I mean, with the age of just cell phones and Instagram and social media, do you use a lot of social media?
I only have an Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
My name?
Tell the world.
Beni and the Chefs. Yeah.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, because Beni and the Jets
she doesn't
and Beni and the
stop. She's
Chefs,
like
everyone
one
started
after
saying
the
that.
other.
It was my
Cute.
dad's idea, so.
That's cute.
And you seem to have a great relationship with your dad and your family and your brother. I just met your brother today.
Yeah, my dad and I were the two people who went out to LA when we were filming the show. 2 months in a cramped, smelly hotel room really bonded us. Some
Yes.
good ways, some bad.
Anything cramped and smelly usually will.
And is he a good chef?
Yes, he is a very good chef. He cooks really good food. His pizzas are really good.
And what about your brother? Any culinary genes in him?
Not really. He's more of a tech guy, but he and I sometimes cook together. He likes to crack the eggs when we're making meatballs, or do small stuff like that. He's a trooper.
And what's your favorite thing? When you're in the kitchen and you're in your zone, in your element? We get to cook today, by the way, together.
I know. I'm really excited.
I'm
Super
so
excited about that. I saw you prepping some of your mise en place. What is your favorite type of cuisine?
That is very hard, but if I were to pick one, it's probably a tie between Mexican and Italian, because I live in like a place where there's a lot of Mexican food, but I love Italian food, and I also love Vietnamese food. There's a really good Vietnamese restaurant by my place called Hai Su, so I don't have a favorite cuisine. There's just so many I can't pick.
Right, that's great. I mean, and you'll learn as you evolve in your chef life that these new flavors are so inspiring. Yesterday, we were at Ramen Fest.
Ramen. I love ramen.
Right, I thought there was somebody that looked just like you at Ramen Fest. I thought it was you.
That's right.
And do you like dishes like ramen? And do you try to make things like that at home?
I've never tried to make ramen. I've certainly eaten a lot of it, and it's the best. But I do want to try to make it. It's so good.
And when you cook, do you use a cookbook or recipes to inspire you, or you just create it, or a little bit of both?
There have been a couple times where I have just like kind of got things out of my mind, but usually I use cookbooks so I can learn and like look at new recipes, and I've done a lot of that, which is nice.
Was there ever a moment in the show where you were like, I got this? Like you felt like, I think I'm probably going to win this?
I had a lot of confidence in the culture challenge, which you had to make a dish inspired by your, like, culture and heritage. So I made a, Polish-style deconstructed chicken pot pie, because my Nana, my dad's mom, she was born in Poland during World War II. She traveled to Africa and then England, so she has some English roots in her. Not like genetically, but like, you know, like culture and like her mind. And so I decided to bring that on the plate, and then I'm also half Polish, so I also like added leeks and stuff like that to the chicken pot pie.
But you made that great dish, and that was inspiring.
Yeah.
There's like always a moment, I think, like even in a running race or in a game where you feel like, I'm really feeling like I could possibly win this. I mean, as you get closer and closer to the finish line.
Like, you're more empowered to win.
Right. And then what was the feeling like when you actually found out that you won?
It was probably disbelief, because I was like, no, that's not true. That's not true. But, you know, I was really excited when I actually heard my name, and I was like, oh, yay. And like, you know, Avery and Kwani, you know, we all did such a good job. All three of us could have won. If it wasn't like a one-person challenge or one person that would win, we would all win, and we did such a good job. And I'm really like, whoa, I won?
Right.
And he was like, whoa.
And what was your biggest lesson from Chef Gordan Ramsey?
Oh man, I think I learned a lot about like flavors and ideas. Like I remember one of my first dishes I made, like a New York strip steak with kale and like I think it was couscous, I think. And he was like, you know, make the couscous more interesting. You know, make food more interesting and not like super boring, because that was a pretty boring dish. But it was like my first time. So
yeah, there's so many different ways. Like with couscous, where you can toast it before you actually add your liquid to it, and add spices to it and ingredients to it before you actually add your liquid. So when it's ready to absorb the liquid, you know, things like that. You can take the flavor, you know, with caramelization and roasting and toasting with grains. I think, was he talking about that?
Yeah, a little bit. And also adding, like, you know, you could add like tomatoes and all this, like adding stuff. But yeah, also flavor and all that.
Awesome.
I cannot wait to watch the two of you cook together.
I'm not going to do anything, guys.
Excited.
I'm not doing anything. You're doing all the work. You're doing all the work. I'm just going to sit there and I'm going to watch, because I already know you're a pro. And you really have such a bright future ahead of you. You know, you see these youngins on the show, and you watch them and you think, wow, they're really talented. But you have something special. I think you have something a little bit extra, and that's personality. And you also have this little bit of reckless abandon when it comes to that. You have a lot of energy. Is there any interest? Because I think that you could actually hold your own on a television show. Now, don't spill the beans on anything, but I feel like you would be great continuing your career on television.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
I hope so too.
Yes. And what would you say to encourage those watching this, in terms of that are your age, to follow their dreams?
I would say to all of the young chefs out there that always try your best and don't worry about getting things perfect every time. Me and my family do a lot of test kitchen, where we just try a lot of things and it comes out good, it comes out bad. Just, you know, try your best, and also, you know, try new things and all of that, you know, stuff. You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's really great advice. And I also feel that being so young, with trying all these things, like I said, mistakes are actually your friends.
Oh, yeah.
Just don't set anything on fire. Be careful in the kitchen as well.
Yes.
But I know that on the set of the show, they used a lot of Viking equipment.
Yes, Viking ovens.
I loved when you walked in the showroom today. It's like you're like me.
I'm like,
I walk into like kitchen appliances are like my.
oh yeah, I love to look at like the mini cast irons. They're so cute, and I'm like, I never use them, but they're so.
So you're used to cooking on the Viking Brown, the show.
Yes, 2 months of beautiful ovens.
Right.
Yeah, and I remember, doing the Road to the Finale episode, and I'm like, oh man, I haven't seen these in so long.
And now today you'll be cooking on them as well.
Yes, I'm really excited.
I think you have a Viking future, kitchen in your future.
Yes.
So, so I'm really proud of you. I'm really proud of you. You're a bright light in the culinary stadium. And I think that you have a huge future in this.
Thank you so much. I hope so too.
And such an inspiration to all ages and stages. You've inspired me and Jamie as well.
I don't know, Margaret in the kitchen. She could probably teach her a thing or two.
Yes.
Oh, don't worry. We all start somewhere.
Fire extinguisher close by.
Oh, okay.
So,
yeah, I do too. Okay. Don't worry.
Good.
I'm in trouble. No.
We'll definitely share your recipe and also the footage of you two cooking together in the Viking Test Kitchen. But I always like to end the show with 3 tips for the home chef. What would be 3 tips you'd like to share?
One that I'm pretty much sure everyone knows, always be careful with a knife. That's like one of the tips that I would just give out randomly. Also, again, like I said before, try your best. And 3, always just, be slow and like really take your time with cooking. And also,
good cooking takes time.
Yeah, good cooking takes time.
I always say that.
And then maybe one more would probably be, let everyone get in on it. Like, cooking with family is the best thing to do. So if you have like younger kids or younger siblings that want to cook, just let them all take charge and work together.
I can't with this one. I can't. I always say, there's always like, every time we do a kitchen chat, it's my favorite kitchen chat. Yeah. The kitchen chats keep getting better and better and better. It's like today, I'm like, my face hurts from smiling. It really does. My face hurts. You made my face hurt from smiling. And I'm crying. Look, a tear.
Aww.
A tear here.
I know, thank you.
You're welcome.
So much.
So awesome
Chef Beni
to be here.
Being on Kitchen Chat. We'll make sure we have links and photos and all of that.
Thank you.
And thank you, Chef
Of
Jamie.
course. It's a pleasure
honor.
being here. I can't wait to get into the kitchen with you today. Show me a thing or two.
That's going to be fun. And
I think you'll show me a thing or two.
No, it's not my job. I'm not here for that. Next time.
Yeah.
This will be fun. And thank you, dear foodie friends, for joining us here today on Kitchen Chat in the beautiful Viking and La Cornue showroom. Please come visit Chef Jamie Larita here in the Merchandise Mart. And also visit me in my kitchen, kitchenchat.info. And also visit thevikinglife.com for more inspiration and recipes for your home kitchen. And always remember to take a moment and savor the day.
Thanks for joining Margaret for Kitchen Chat today. Margaret would be so excited for you to drop by and visit with her at kitchenchat.info, where you'll enjoy podcasts, blogs, recipes, tips from chefs, and even great giveaways. She invites you to share your recipes and kitchen stories too. As Margaret always says, savor the day.